So, hello folks, it's me, I'm Biggy, and I'm back, and this is not supposed to be, the Santa hat's not supposed to be here. It's supposed to be a birthday hat of some sort, but let's put it aside for now. But we are ranking every single Tokimeki Memorial Girl on tier list, and by every Tokimeki Memorial Girl, I'm talking about every Tokimeki Memorial 2 character on a tier list, depending on what tier they are. And as a side note, I think it's not fair. First off, this is objective opinion, so it's going to be a of course not the definitive list of how popular the girls are. You could argue about it with me in the comments, of course, but this is just kind of a supplemental thing that I'm going to do and upload onto the channel as well. So feel free to chat about it in the comments on which girl's best girl here and there. But I'm gonna compare. The best way I could describe this is that Tokimeki Memorial Girls is like flavors of ice cream, because you have flavors that you love and you like, and then there are flavors that is really popular but you're not a fan of, right? So there's that. That's what I'll compare it to, I guess. But anyways, the way I'm gonna compare this is, for example, Hikari. Hikari here is definitely very, very high tier, because she's one of the girls that the way she is, right? She is one of the most easily romanceable characters in the game. And for that reason alone, she actually complements the game very well, because as the most easily romanced character, she is someone who is that handholds you through the game on your very first try, trying to romance, and it's just telling you about all of the basic things in the game and how to increase stats, how to go on dates. She tells you when she shows up with warning signs when she's unhappy, when girls are cold towards you. She is very easily rectifiable if you mess up. You need to call up various different girls and apologize to her. Her events are easy to trigger, and you could romance her any way you want. You could either date her, romance her through being good at studies, because she likes when you're good at studying, or you could romance her by being good at sports and having the both of you win and become professional track and field athletes. So she's good in that sense, but the other important sense mechanically is that she easily gets jealous, which means that as soon as you try to romance other characters, she becomes your first immediate threat. And because she's easy to romance and easy to diffuse and easy to talk to, it's a small nuisance rather than something big, right? The only problem would be if that her bomb triggers and she hates you, and and not being able to rectify that. And yeah, for that I'm gonna put her in A tier, and I'm gonna compare her flavor to vanilla, because despite being the most quote-unquote vanilla character, vanilla is an amazing flavor. She is plainly awesome. Her name literally means the ray of sunshine. You come into a dating sim expecting to get the girlfriend experience, and she provides the emotional support. She provides everything you ever want in a dating sim, and basically answers every need that you'll have for a dating sim. So for that, she gets an A tier. Next up is Homura. Homura I'm gonna immediately place in double S tier, because she is by far one of my favorite characters. Because she's one amongst the characters that turns the formula on its head. Although I think I talked about her at length already in the Tomboy video, is that the devs definitely cooked with Homura. She is actually one of the most she's outgoing, tomboyish, she's an idiot, and she's got one of the boys energy, and what they did was that they made her 4'11", meaning she's pint-sized, and she remains and retains her boyish looks. And the devs actually got away with that one to say that, oh, for her to stay boyish, right? She needs to still be like have that body type. There are people in real life with that body type. So what are you saying? What are you saying? That that's and she's also just a walking mecha anime trope. And mecha anime is basically the go-to anime back in the 90s. All the Gundams, and not only Gundams and things, but retro anime. So she appeals to the kind of one of the boys' energy, and basically she's like, what if I compare her to an ice cream flavor? I think she's like mint chocolate chip. She has that crunchiness. She has that refreshingness that brings a whole lot to the table. And yeah, I think that's what I compare her to. The other girl I romanced next was Akane, and Akane is easily romanceable, and like I said, she's very down to earth. I'd compare her to Chocolate. Very, very plain, very down to earth, and there's a lot behind them. And I'm not only just comparing her to Chocolate because there's the whole connotation of that being of the whole real world taking advantage of the chocolate trade, and there's unfair trade, and then she's actually poor. And I could overanalyze this, but she's plain, but she's also hard to romance because we have to actually fight her big brother, right? So there's that. I think there's that aspect in her as well, that you need to be a little bit good at studying. She unlocks when you are a little bit good at studying, but the actual stat you need to romance her are physical stats. So that game does a bit of a 180 on you, and really does try to make you. I told in the review that she makes you a better person for trying to romance her. Yeah, and I think that's fair, because you want to be able to have good grades so we could provide for the family in the future. But that point aside, she is an amazing, also her body type is complete opposite of Homura. Both of them needs to be represented. Yeah. So, okay. Next up is the third character I romance with, which is Yae. Beforehand, I put her in double S tier because she's the most emotionally important character. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to move her down a tier to S tier. And Yae as an S tier character, I think is a bit of a... I know, it's unfortunate. But she is very... and I myself am the one who's going to regret this the most, because she is definitely amongst my favorites, and it's a hard decision to put her here. The only downside for Yae for me is the fact that she is one of those characters that you need to put in a lot of effort to romance, and she feels important to romance because her life changes by you romancing her. And she has amazing, everything about her is amazing. Like, her body type is amazing. If I compare her to if I were to compare her to a flavor of ice cream, maybe Rocky Road. I think, and that's not only just a bit of a pun as well, but a very dark chocolatey version of a Rocky Road. And there's the bits and pieces you need to pick through, and then it's rewarding towards the end, where there's also chunks of marshmallows and nuts and things that just makes things very interesting. It's I think that feels rewarding for her to actually romance her as a character. I think that's fair to say, right? But I brought her down to S tier, if I remember correctly. It's because aside from that, Yae doesn't have very strong, like not a lot of her aside from that, it doesn't feel like her designs and things isn't as strong as some of the other characters. Doesn't trigger as many neurons. I think it feels like she is one of the more popular characters, and I definitely wouldn't put her beneath S tier. But for me, it's not, how do I say this? Romancing her is not fun. I'll say this because you go through the entire first year trying to get her to not leave, and the second year waiting until you get her events before going to the third year, and then romancing her as much as you can all the way to the end. And it's you have that tiny window frame, the tiny frame of that year to get as many events as you can, and it feels like you could have gotten more out of it, but it feels like oh, it's worth it maybe, but by that time by the time after you've successfully romanced her and gotten her to smile and everything, up to that point, at that point onwards, it's just okay, we spent our first year doing that. Now it's a collectathon, and it feels like her storyline peaked at a certain point. There's also the fact that the other fact that I dislike. Okay, this is a real point why I wanted to deduct her as a character. The fact that she leaves after the first year, because I know that's a strong character point, but the fact that when she leaves as a first year, it really does leave a bitter taste in your mouth, and it feels like you are, unless you know how to not trigger her or not have her appear as a character, you feel very, very obligated to actually romance her. I think that's why I want to put her at S tier, because you feel like, wait a minute, if you want to be good at any sports at all, and you accidentally somehow perform exercise during a weekend or during a weekday, and she appears, and immediately you feel bad if you don't romance her as a sporty character. There's a total of how many sporty characters are there? There's a total of 1, 2. Who else? Here, she's also a sporty character. Yeah, to be fair, there's only 3 characters that cares about your sports stat right here, and maybe teacher, because she cares about everything. But immediately, but by the time that teacher appears, she's already disappeared. So if you somehow increase your sports stat, it's going to impact all the storylines with these characters, and these two are even best friends, so you even feel even worse. Wait, let me see if I got the. Yep, you feel even worse by not romancing her. But so unless you do what I do and know the ins and outs exactly of the game, you will have that feels Batman moment when she disappears every single time. That's why she's on S tier. Okay, so who was the next character I romanced? I think the secret characters, right? So Sumire is gonna be in B tier. She is a bit of a nothing burger in terms of romancing conditions. You just need to collect all of her events by going to the circus. By triggering her exercise event, bring someone on the circus dates for years 2 and years 3, years 1 and years 2, and yeah, that's it. You don't need to do anything to romance her at all, and you get her ending anyways, and then we go on a circus tour together. So her romancing option is a bit of a nothing burger, except she feels like more of an Easter egg of a character, so it doesn't feel very rewarding to play with her or try to romance her as a target. Mostly, whenever you go for this kind of romance, you try to aim for secret events like Takumi as well. I think there's the secret Takumi event where he appears dressed as a girl. That's one of the things you could try for when you're actually doing a Sumire run. But aside from that, she is just such a nothing burger of a character. But for the time that she appears, she does leave an impact. She is the only character who sings out of all the other characters. To clarify, each of the voice actress and all the characters did release singles afterwards, singing their character songs, which I could link to. But for her, I think she is very much of a nothing burger. In comparison to Mayaka or our part-time girl, S tier very much so. She is this is how you do side characters. You need to collect a bunch of you need to know a secret event at the end of the year, and not only that, you need to get the secret event. You need to actually go at it as often as you can and romance other characters and try to get all of her secret events happening as you romance other characters. This is because she was just appearing everywhere as in a part-time job. So I think there's that. Her design's amazing. She's funny as heck. And also just an all-around good time. There's also that friggin' sus ending where she's in front of the... He's one of those characters that has the sus ending because he's in front of the friggin' Twin Towers at the end of the whole thing, because we're actually working part-time in New York. It's a whole bunch of very, very poor coincidences. But yeah, she's amazing in that sense. Oh, now let's talk about the other character that is going to go right here on B tier, which is, Miyuki. Yeah, I'm sorry, Miyuki. You need to be here in B tier. High B tier though. But Miyuki is nicknamed Roach-chan because she has a friggin' hairstyle that looks like a cockroach, and she is undying. She's a frequent victim of truck-kun, always. I'm not sure how many times she survived being isekai'd. She's the most... She ranks most likely to be isekai'd, right? And her events are funny and kind of luck... and it's just talking about how bad her luck is. And unfortunately, the thing that really drives her down as a character is her voice. Her voice is a choice. Her voice actress really decided to go all out, and the voice actress even apologized at the end and saying that, "I'm sorry, I must have ruined people's hearing by the end because her voice is just so grating." There's a time in one of her voice lines where she goes, cuff. She chokes on her spit, and I think it's probably not intentional, but they kept the line anyways, which is amazing. So it is rip users' ears, rip voice actress's voice. Her voice alone is a big downgrade. It's grating, but also rip Google Translate for trying to translate whatever she was trying to say. And she doesn't give enough of an emotional hook, right? As well, I think because she feels like, oh, I'm such an unfortunate girl, and she doesn't leave behind the same emotional gut punch as Yae did. So there's that. That's why she remains somewhere in B tier. Okay, so that was the first the bit of romancing we did, and then after that we have the uh, Valentine's Day characters. Kotoko. Kotoko is the character that I'm gonna put up right here in A tier. She is so unfortunate. She is one of the best characters in the game. She's the prototypical tsundere, and unfortunately, because of the way how grating she is and how hard she is to romance, people really don't get her. And it's like tsundere prototype, and everything she does makes sense. She's the female protagonist, the main love interest's best friend. Of course she's gonna be grating. Of course she's gonna hate you for romancing her because she wants the best for her best friend, and she's gonna be very strongly hateful towards you and towards herself because of the fact that you're romancing her best friend. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. That's the reason. That's why, right? But her ending is rewarding enough. But she is do I say her hated her hate towards her is very much unwarranted. She is often rated as worst character, and it's totally unfair, right? So there's that. Okay, next, I'll just keep going on here. We have our third double S character, which is May. The thing about it is, I underestimated May. She is a complete. When I was back in my day, I hated her so much as a character. I did not want to romance her at all. I did not like her design. She seems she seems more trouble than she's worth. But oh boy, is she worth the trouble. The amount of memery that she brings to the table. It is weird because these two are tsunderes through and through, right? But apparently May is the tsundere that we've come to know and grow in love, versus this kind of tsundere which gives off, I'll say what it is. It gives off I wouldn't say it gives off love triangle vibes. Love triangle drama vibes rather than the gremlin energy vibes. Both of them have amazing gremlin energy. So I think it's so unfair that Kotoko got the hate that she did, while May got the got the love that she deserved. She ranked 5th in the polls. She's like, if I compare it, it's like either pistachio or something as a ice cream flavor. It's all just memes and she's nutty. That's why. Okay, it's amazing. It's a lot of fun. Okay, next up, I think our romance teacher. Which rank should I put her? What rank did I actually say that I was gonna put her in? Kasumi, huh? Man. Okay, she's somewhere between B and A tier. She's like right smack in between. I'm gonna get drama upon if I put her in B tier. The thing is, personally, she fulfills the forbidden fruit, older sister, forbidden love. Okay, so lore-wise, she's 5 years older than us, right? And it's right at the cusp of things being sus, because when we were graduating, we were 18 and she's 23. So it's very sussy in terms of age gap. But I understand. Okay, I'm gonna put her in A tier. I understand why they put her as the final boss, or the hardest character to romance, quote unquote, in the game, I don't think she's that hard to romance at all if you know all the secrets and what to do. But um, she is like her character's design's amazing. Her music's top tier. But the thing about her is that well, I have a bigger sister as well, and it for me the bigger sister energy just feels kind of it is not my thing. For those people who want big sis energy in their romance partner, go on ahead. I completely understand. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and give them an A tier just for the sake of that, for people who like her for that sake, right? I forgot to also mention that May here has little sister energy, and basically the entire thing is just so that you could get the hidden ending of her calling you senpai. If you spend 3 years just for the sake of getting the only character who's able to call you senpai, okay, that's enough of a neuron activation for all you could ever need. And you know what? I am a bit of a hypocrite in terms of sensei energy or teacher energy, because I'm not I don't have a problem with the teacher trope at all, right? As long as the teacher is not the romance target of the protagonist. If there's another character that's of age, right? I'm gonna give you an offhand example, because I was playing Super Robot Wars, and Adet was a teacher, and Adet Sensei is my biggest neuron activator of all time. But she is not competing for Gainer's affection for any kind of sake, or any real sake. But I'm just gonna go off on a tangent there. The femme fatale character needs to actually come on stronger for that to be a case. But this for me, it's just a mismatch for teacher to basically we have to work hard to romance her as well. So there's that. All right, I'm almost out of time. I think I've recorded how long already? Okay, almost half an hour. Right, let's keep going. Next up is Kaideko. Kaideko goes in B tier, right here. Yeah, between Miyuki and Sumire here. Kaideko goes into B tier because well, the thing is, she's so sweet. She's such a cinnamon roll. She is so sweet. Oh, does she even deserve to be in B tier? Did I actually upgrade her in the end? They actually upgrade her in the end? No, I didn't. You know what? She's going to be slightly higher than Miyuki. She is in B tier because she is such a cinnamon roll. She's a wonderful character. All the way up to the, but she gets deductions for two things. First off, is the trope that revolves her around being fat. She's not fat. She's conscious of her body size, and it is the trope revolving around and you know, over this age we have this whole thing about body positivity, right, and stuff. If you look at her character and look at her character art, she's in no way fat. In fact, she's the opposite. She is very thin, and then she feels like her body is inadequate in comparison to all the pretty girls. She is dangerously on the being ill category, or mentally ill in that category, right? That she doesn't like her body size, or her body type. But in the end, that's a deduction. But the other deduction is that she decides to leave at the end of disc 2. The game has 5 discs. She leaves at the end of disc 2. What the heck do you do with disc 3s through 5? You have to you basically throw the rest of the game's engine into the gutter, and then all you need to do is just improve stats and just trigger the relevant events. And it feels kind of unrewarding to just, okay, All you need to do is romance her well for the first, for the second, uh, for the first disc, and that's it. And the rest of the space, you can't go on dates with her anymore. You don't get to see her. You get to see her in a Doki Doki state by the end of disc 2, and that's it. There's not much else you could do to get more events other than waiting for the in-game events and just pushing the game through and trying to finish with a character to see the ending. So that's why I'm not too happy about her as a character. And okay, and this is the last but not least, are the Miho and Maho twins. Oh, spoiler alert, they're twins, right? The thing about Miho and Maho is that it's so unfair. I'm gonna put her right here. It's so unfair to rate me. She's my least character by far because she has the most red flags. She is one of those girls who are into fortune telling and horoscopes, and basically is driven by and taken. She has to be put in that social position of knowing more than her friends, and she's this kind of girl who's kind of floaty, up in the air, not grounded at all, lives in another world, believes in fairies and Santas, has a bunch of red flags already, and it feels like she's not all there, right? It is not that it's not so much of a turn off as all of the various other red flags that are there as well. She's just a walking red flag everywhere if I've ever met her as a real person, right? And which is unfortunate because her character design, hairstyle wise and everything is amazing. So there's that. I do enjoy her character design, but aside from that, she is very much one of the she's bad as a character by herself. But of course, if you play the game, you know the twist that she's not actually just one single character. She has a twin sister that she swaps around with and plays whimsical games against you. So and that's problematic because her sister is up here in S tier. And it's so unfair to put them so far apart, right? Because, but the thing is, they balance each other out perfectly. She's just a bit of a nothing burger to romance, and it's just trying to, I'll believe in you. I will be. She feels so kind of not rewarding to romance out of all of them, and she's like, if Kodoko deserves all the hate, I think she also is one of the worst characters. I haven't like, these two don't count, do they? They're the boys. But as a character, I'm gonna put Jun in S tier because he's an amazing dude, and Takumi right here next to her because despite him being very, very helpful, he's
no
just
one wants a fake person on their lives.
Yeah, it is. It is not so much them her being fake. It's so much her that she's not there. She is very easily off on her own little world, and I feel like it's in and I feel like it's going to be a chore to keep her grounded. And the problem with that is that I find myself somewhat similar to Miho in certain times because I'm very much a dreamer. I stream, I live stream for income.
Also,
right?
sorry for not being able to be here yesterday. Happy late birthday.
Oh, okay. Just give me a second while I have a look at who's actually chatting here. So thank you, Akko, for being here. I'm actually recording this for YouTube as well, so feel free to contribute. But yeah, you just got here as I completed the tier list. Maho is very much one of those characters that is such it's so hard. Miho and Maho is so unfair to put her in C tier, but because she is on the same because she's the same in the same sphere, like I say, as Maho, that that they appear, and then we have to do the whole load of save state manipulation or just save reload shenanigans, and just manipulate the in-game stuff just to get to see her ending, and maybe to get her the reveal that she actually is a twin. It is so much hassle. Everything about her is just hassle, hassle, hassle. I would rather call her David Hasselhoff, but um, so much of a hassle to be able to romance.
Too difficult and as bad reward after the hassle.
Yep, I think that's pretty much the gist of the whole thing. But yeah, I think that's the entire tier list. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube as well. So
Mary Hasselhoff.
yeah, very much so. But yeah, that's gonna be it. I'm probably put
Wasn't sure if I should pipe up during the recording. Hi Aiko.
No, you could pipe up now because pretty much the stream has ended, and I'm gonna extend the ad
Hey,
time
man.
a little bit, and you could feel free to chime in as well. And I guess that's what's going on with you, Mana, that you don't know if you wanted to chime in or not. But feel free to chime in right now just to say what you thought about the tier list so far. Or if there's any disagreements or things that you find.
Take care, guys. Sleep well.
But yeah, thank you, Akko. I'm needing to come on add tier list. Okay, I can't switch and turn off the ads for now. So because I need to actually keep the tier list available. But yeah, that's generally the gist of things.
It's a good tier list.
Yeah.
Kodoko is best gremlin. Have a good one, Aiko.
Yeah, but that's gonna be it for today's live stream, as well as it for this little video. And if you have any comments on which girl's best girl, which one's worst girl, leave it down below as well. But that's gonna be it for this today's stream. I'm gonna take this chance first to thank all of my members. Let me turn off the game sound. Thank you, Apilux, Manta, Dugbone, Raphael, Vika, Kappa, Techno, and Amislam for being members at the time of streaming. And also, if you want to join the membership program, check out the join button down below. You get turned into a Pokemon and get some cool perks, amongst other things, like getting to see this video early. But that being said, if you want to contribute to my channel in any other way, feel free to like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want to see more, click on the bell to get notified for when I go live. That being said, it's me, I'm Biggy, and I'll be back. See you guys in a bit. Thanks for being here, Mana.
Good day, Biggy and all.
Have a good day, everybody. See you guys in a bit.